You know, one thing that you will consistently hear on this channel is that I really do think that management groups need to be hard on players in negotiations. It's cap league, and you need to be a good negotiator, not disrespectful, though. Now, that's where I draw the line. When negotiating a contract with a player, you need to, like, draw a line and say, okay, we're going to negotiate hard, but we're not going to get disrespectful. It happens a lot. Like, I'm telling you, you hear some insiders talk about negotiations that get, like, really nasty between management and players, and you don't want a player, especially a core player, might I add, to dig his heels in to the point that it can get bad, and then the player sours on your organization. We're going to be talking about how that relates to the Calgary Flames today. We're also going to be talking about some new Rasmus Andersson trade rumors, information about him, and some really interesting quotes that I did find. But guys, welcome back to Pixel Plus Hockey. If you could make sure to hit that subscribe button, it would be so greatly appreciated. And thank you so much to those that are already supporting me. It is very humbling, of course. Now, we've seen where stuff like this gets really, really, really toxic. Like, again, I'll talk about William Nylander. Like, I'm surprised today William Nylander is still a Maple Leaf. Like, I'm surprised that Mitch Marner is the one that left, because, like, how far that negotiation went, it usually sours him on the organization. You understand what I mean? Like, even if you go to, like, hearings where you have, like, a team and a player just cannot figure it out, and they have to go to, like, arbitration or something like that. Those are usually really, really toxic, because you kind of gotta say, like, oh yeah, we like this, but he sucks at this, or he's like, he can't play defense or something like that, and the players gotta sit there and listen to everything. I think Jeff O'Neill talked about how he went to arbitration and how horrible it was, so that's why teams and players generally just try to say, hey, let's meet in the middle and just avoid it. Anyways, long story short, really, really good, I personally think a really good quote from Elliotte Friedman on the situation. Elliotte Friedman regarding Connor Zary extension. I've just heard the two sides have just been apart. I don't think it's a situation where the Flames don't like the player or the player doesn't like the Flames. Okay, that's a really, really, really good quote right now. Now, I'm not going to get too alarming about it, but, like, again, you don't know whether that's going to be like that forever, right? So if we start getting more into training camp, and, oh, God forbid if the player misses some of training camp. I know training camp, you might not think it's not, it's nothing, but I'm sorry, man, you got it. Like, timing is huge for NHL players. You got to get your timing down. If you can't get your timing down, he's gonna hit a rut. And this is a big season for Connor Zary. Like, it's gonna be a huge season for him to prove that he can stay healthy, pot 55 points. I don't think that's outrageous. Play with some talented players, and then he can get paid big. Again, I'm just gonna come down to it. Like I said in my last Calgary Flames video, just sign a year deal, man. Just meet in the middle in terms of the AAV. Meet in the, whatever. Just sign a 1-year deal. The Flames can just say, okay, and then we'll just pay him whatever he wants. I mean, if he scores 55 points, proves he can stay healthy, that completely changes the entire situation. Okay, let's have question of the video then. Drop it in the comments. What do you guys think Connor Zary will sign with? I think probably a 2-year deal, 3.75, 3.5. That's where he should be right now. Prove he stays healthy, and then absolutely destroy it. Maybe he can play with some talented players and score 60 points. Now, to shift gears away from that, I wanted to talk about some new Rasmus Andersson quotes that I found pretty interesting, because the whole thing was like, at first it started with, well, Rasmus Andersson didn't want to re-sign with, he only wanted to sign with, like, Vegas or something like that. Then Rasmus Andersson was like, no, that's not even true. In fact, he was saying that he didn't even give any teams to the Calgary Flames. And then now we have a situation where it's actually getting a little bit more murky, because we have a very interesting quote from Frank Cervalli here. I don't want to say the deals for Rasmus Andersson were underwhelming. I think everyone recognizes that when you trade for Rasmus Andersson, you need to pay him. It's the acquisition cost plus the cost on your cap. Close quote. I found that a pretty interesting quote from him, because I was like, okay, are teams not willing to pay Andersson what he's worth? We do know that Rasmus Andersson and the Flames, they sent numbers back and forth, so essentially what Rasmus Andersson wanted, because I think that Rasmus Andersson would still be willing to sign in Calgary. It's just essentially the Calgary Flames apparently weren't willing to. They weren't going to meet anywhere with the contract negotiations, if you understand what I mean. So again, what I'm wondering here is exactly what does he want? I guess we will know when he is an unrestricted free agent. Although to be fair, the LA Kings must have been willing to give that up for him because there were some heavy trade rumors that they at least, or but maybe it was that they were more in preliminary talks with the Calgary Flames, and there was a deal on the table before they found out that maybe he didn't want to go there, or that the LA Kings weren't willing to ante up on what Andersson wanted as well. Now, finally, shifting gears away from that, I also wanted to talk about some really good news, in my opinion, around a Flames veteran in Backlund. We have a very interesting quote, a good quote. Backlund has a year left on his contract, and he says he wants to continue to play. He wants to be a lifetime Flame. He's not looking to go anywhere. That is good news because the Calgary Flames as an organization need more players to want to stick around in the franchise, be lifetime Flames. They had a bit of a mass exodus from the franchise there where a lot of players left. They had, a bunch of really good players, Boudreau and Kachuk. Unfortunately, they all ended up leaving. But this is exactly what you want to hear. Backlund is still, I mean, yes, I know Backlund's old. He's like 36 years old. But again, he's still a very useful player. Like, I think that people underrate how much the Flames play him. He played like, I think he played like 19 minutes. He edged close to 20 minutes. Now, offensively, he might have only scored like third line production, and like, I think he scored like 32 points or something like that. I'll put it up on the screen. But again, this is a player that still is very useful, good two-way player, proper center. He's aging, so I would be careful. If I was the Flames, I would consider giving him like 1-2 year deals. You got to be careful with contracts with older players. Let's not forget that. But this is excellent news for the Calgary Flames. You know what, guys? I'm going to leave this video here. If you could make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, I would greatly appreciate it, guys. And make sure to have a great day. Goodbye, guys.